Hello. No equal sign, that's an expression. PEMDAS. I wish when we taught PEMDAS that we presented it first this way. And here's why. P for parentheses does come first, and E for exponents does come second. But the M and the D, they have equal priority in the order of operations. It depends on which one is furthest to the left in the expression that you're dealing with. If the division operation came before multiplication, you would actually do division first. Same thing here with addition and subtraction. The two of them come last, but subtraction can come before addition if there's a subtraction operation on the left and then an addition operation on the right. We'll try some problems that illustrate that later, but first I want to just make sure that we've gotten a couple of other concepts about powers straight. -4 to the third power versus the same thing with the -4 in the parens. These two things are actually going to turn out to have the same result, but for different reasons. In this case, I'm doing 4 times 4 times 4, then I'm applying a negative, so this is -64. In this case, I'm doing -4 times -4 times -4. That's also -64 as it turns out, but that's because there are 3 negatives. An odd number, in other words. Let's look at this one. 3x squared, in this case the 2 only applies to the x, whereas in this case the 2 exponent applies to everything that's in the parens. Let's think about substituting a number in. Something simple. How about if we just made that 2? Well, PEMDAS says the first thing I deal with is the exponents. 2 squared is 4, and then 4 times 3 is 12. So this is evaluated would be 12. Evaluating this though, I'd have to do the 2 times the 3 first. I have to do what's in the parens first. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 squared is 36. So again, when you evaluate these two, this becomes 36, whereas that was only 12. Let's try something a little harder here. All right, again, I've got to do what's in parens first, but within the parens I've got a couple of operations. I've got to do 4 squared, and then I've got to add 8. Well, 4 squared is 16. And 16 plus 8 is 24. So what I really have here is 3 times 24 divided by 4. Remember, now what I have left is multiplication and division as my only operations, and the one on the left comes first. So I do 3 times 24. Sorry to be doing this in my head, but I got to tell you, writing with the pen on this tool is really difficult. 3 times 24 is 72. And then I do 72 divided by 4, and I get 18. Now what I'd like you to do is try these 3 problems. Notice the only difference is where the parens appear. But you're going to get, I think you'll find, different answers. When you're ready, hit the pause button and give these a try, and in a second I'll show you the results. Okay, the first one, you should have come up with 50. The second one, you should have come up with 54. Any questions? Don't hesitate to come and ask me. Let's move on to number 4, and this is probably the last topic that we'll cover in this video, and then we'll continue on in a second one. -3x squared minus 5x plus 7 when x equals -2. Well, first thing to do is simply to substitute that -2 in where we see x. Because it's a negative, I'm going to put parens around it wherever it appears. That way I'm going to remember that x is this whole thing, this whole -2, and not just the 2. So I do it here as well as here. Notice all I've done here is substituted -2 for x. All right, now it's simply a matter of figuring out what's -2 squared. That's the first thing that I would do, because there's not really anything I can do inside these parens. Yes, parens comes first in PEMDAS, but there's nothing I can do inside here. So the next operation in the order of PEMDAS is exponents. -2 squared is 4. 4 times -3 is 12. So I've got -3 times 4 minus 5 times -2 plus 7. As I say, that's -12. That's going to become +10. -12 and +10, and I don't have anything that I have to do yet with the 7 because addition and subtraction come last. Now it's just a matter of cleaning these up. And you should come out with the answer of 5 for this string of 3 terms. I'm going to give you guys one to work on as the last thing we'll do in this video. Hit the pause button, and when you're ready, I'll show the answers to these. Okay, I'm going to assume that you've done that. Notice that what you'd actually been asked to do was to put 3 in whenever you saw x and 1 in whenever you saw y. So here I've written those out. 3 times 3 plus 1, 2 times 3 minus 1. And likewise down here. Well, 3 times 3 plus 1 becomes 10 across the top. 2 times 3 minus 1 becomes 5. You should have come up with 2 as your answer. For the second one, I've already shown you here how to write these out by substituting in. And I think I'll move left to right. So on the top I've got 2 cubed. On the bottom I've got 2. And you should end up from there finding out that the answer, the result, is 4. I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to have to continue it with an extra video.